Sexual attraction and food attraction. What does those two things have in common? I want you to think about that for a second because I want to make this video about exactly that topic and go more in depth what I mean by that. This actually is a hidden truth of what we should eat. But before we start, I just want to say hi and welcome to Path of the Divine, The Lonely Road. My name is Robin. I'm very happy that you're watching this video and I hope you can get something good out of it. I know your time is valuable and precious, so I'm not going to waste it. So let's jump in right away. If we really think about it in a logic and simple way, which I always think we should do, because that's always where the truth lies, we would clearly see that these two are very well connected and it tells us exactly what we should eat. So first of all, let's talk a little bit about the sexual attraction. Spend some videos about this topic now. This whole realm that we're living in is made up of one of the 7 natural laws, 7 hermetic principles, and one is the law of polarity, which means that everything around us needs to have a polar opposite of that thing. So in order to have light, we need the darkness. In order to have good, we need to have bad. In order to have beauty, we need to have something ugly, and so on and so forth. Up, we have to have down. That's why you say as above, so below. So everything needs to have a polar opposite of that specific thing. When it comes to the sexual attraction there, it's made up that we have one woman and a man, and those need to have chemistry and attraction together, because that's where the spark comes from. That's where the polarity is. We can't have the same thing because that goes against the natural law. I said before, then what humans do, it's total up to them. They can do whatever they want. Total free to do that, as long as you're aware of the consequences that it will lead to. Because like I said, you're going against a law here. Sexual attraction there, it is made up that it has to be the strongest of all desires after self-preservation, because we want to live on, of course. But this desire is so huge, and this urge to procreate, and it has to be that. But our job here is to develop ourselves so that we can control the mind, so that we can control this animal instinct that we have, because it is instinct. The instinct is to procreate so that we can move our genes forward to the new generation and the generation after that. But it doesn't mean that we should just play along with it like it's nothing, because the whole point of this sexual act, the sacred energy exchange, is to procreate, to move our genes forward, like I said. If we also look at, like I said, self-preservation, there we have something interesting as well, because in order to survive, we need to have food. We need to eat something. We need to get calories and nutrients in. And what would be the most logic way for humans to get that calories and nutrients? It would be that they are attracted to that certain foods that they should eat. Exactly like the sexual act there. We need to have an attraction between a man and a female in order for us to procreate. These two goes very well together. And like I said, it's a hidden truth what we should eat. Because in one of my early videos, I talked about what we're naturally drawn to. And let's say we are out in nature, we live in a nature that we are intended for, and we have done in the past. What would make more sense for us? To go out in the wild and kill an animal, or trying to dig holes in the ground to find food there, or just pick a ripe fruit from the tree? What makes more sense to you? Because like I said before, we have color eyesight that most animals don't, which makes us be able to detect that fruit, because it separates from the plant that we should not eat. So it's very easy for us, if we use common sense, to just pick the fruit and eat it. Minimal waste, minimal energy spended, nutrients in. That's what it's supposed to be. So if we can just look at it in this sense, and now I know it's a lot of people are going to comment, oh, but our ancestral, they ate thousands of years, they ate meat and they hunted, blah blah blah. First of all, we're not exactly sure about that history. Second of all, just because we've done something in the past doesn't make it right. That's like me saying we have been having satanic rituals, sacrificing kids and raping kids for thousands of years. So that should mean that we should still do it. It's okay. Go out and pick up kids on the street and rape them? I don't think so. It goes against my common sense. Like, so don't stop posting those comments, because it's ridiculous. Like, justifying that we have done something in the past doesn't tell the truth in any way. I mean, if you're fooling an entire nation into believing something, and the whole nation believes it, if it is a lie, it's still a lie, even though 100% of the population believe in it. it doesn't make it, the lie is still there even if a specific amount of people believe in it. That doesn't change. So we have to remove from these silly arguments that we have done something in the past and we should keep doing it. One thing more when it comes to diet there, if a diet is poisoning your system, it creates toxic compounds and molecules and chemicals in your system, it's not a diet for you. That's it. It's not hard to understand. A poison, it doesn't matter if any amount it is, it's still poison and it should not be in our system. Humans are so amazingly good at, well, that's why we have the mind, because the mind complicates everything in our lives. It's so ridiculously funny how it works. But like I said, we have to be able to control it. It would be so much easier if we were just animals living by instinct. Didn't have this up here that messes up everything and creates all this kind of nonsense stuff because we want to gain something for ourselves, because we have desires we want to feed, you know. We can take for example, like when it comes to the fruit there, do you really think it's a coincidence that a lot of the fruits out there actually are very similar to our genitals? We can take like melons, for example, or papayas, or those kind of fruits. They look pretty similar to a vagina, I would say, right? And the male phallus is very close to looking like a zucchini, cucumber, aubergine, fruits like that. I think it's not a coincidence that they look a lot like our private parts. That's kind of interesting as well, like if you think in those terms. So my point here is that if we look at those two things that are the most deepest rooted desires we have in our human bodies, for self-preservation, meaning we want to take care of ourselves in any cost, at any price, we want to survive. If someone's come running with an axe and try to kill you, you're gonna do everything in order to make him not kill you. If you are almost starving yourself to death, you're gonna do whatever it takes to find something to put in your mouth. And in that case, of course, we would eat anything we can get our hands on. That's not what I'm talking now. I'm talking about what we should eat. If an animal in the wild doesn't get any food, I'm sure it's gonna eat what it can get. But that doesn't mean it's supposed to eat it. But that's why the self-preservation is the biggest desire or the biggest drive that we have. But after that, the sexual desire, the belonging, the desire to procreate, to move on our generations and genes in the future is the second strongest. With that said, in this video, my point is that those two are very well connected. And if you just start to think about it with the food attraction, because we need to be attracted to the foods that we're eating. If our mouth doesn't start watering when we see it, it's not for us. If you're going by a car and you see roadkill on the street, if your mouth doesn't water when you see a bleeding animal cut in half, laying there, maybe making disgusting sounds, and your mouth doesn't water and you just want to jump on it and start eating it, that tells that you shouldn't eat it and you're not a carnivore animal. That's it. If a lion or a tiger or a cat would see that, I think they would be pretty happy. They would stick their tongue and mouth and just start to chew it. Oh no, sorry, they don't chew actually, they just just bite it and swallow large pieces at a time. But that's another topic, we can go into it in the future. Like I said before, keep things simple, start using this, use common sense, and we would have so much less problems in the world. Everything would be just so much better. But hopefully we can get close to that point at some stage. I think I'm pretty good with this. I got my message out. I think it's a good 10 minutes or so. So if you think this is good value, and I'm of course hoping you watch till the end, even though I've seen on my analytics that a lot of people don't like to watch the whole video. It's only about 30% to do it. A lot of people watch like just 1 minute to 3 minutes max. I don't know what's going on, but I think it's the shorts video that destroyed people's brains. The short-term memory, they can't focus for longer than 1 or 2 minutes. It's insane. As well, that's also another topic. So if you're still watching this, kudos for you. I'm very happy and hope you got something good out of it. And I made you think a little bit different, because that's what this channel is all about. I want people to start thinking in another way and using their own brain and be critical thinkers all the time and start digging themselves for new information and new knowledge so we can move forward. So with that said, I want to wish you a fantastic week. Hope to see you guys soon again. So take care and see you next month. Ciao.